Hi, it's Mark from Enchantment of Eternity here. So I just want to real quick come on and just talk about this Star Trek Picard trailer that just dropped, just really quick. Because to be honest, I was a bit more excited about the Expanse Season 4 once I wanted to spend more time talking about that. But I'm also excited for this Picard show. The trailer to me looks amazing. I am so excited for it. As soon as I saw two things came to mind. First thing is I have no doubts that this show is going to be fucking amazing. If this show is not amazing, I will be shocked. Second thing, I thought people were going to be like, oh, it looks too modern, they're destroying Star Trek. You know, people want to do that, it's their opinion, they're free to express it, whatever. But I just could not disagree with that more. And also the people saying Patrick Stewart is too old. Get out of here. This Patrick Stewart is not too old. He's amazing in this fucking trailer. Like, he looks so good. Like, they were talking about how he's a better actor now, and I can definitely see that, and they think it makes the quality of the show better, and I can't wait to see it, because judging off the performance he gave in Logan, which was just amazing. It was like he was fucking robbed of an Oscar in Logan. And this trailer looks kind of similar to Logan, actually, because Logan was about this woman, or young woman with really like strong powers, and she was really wanted because she had these strong powers, and she was like and the older man had to take care of her. It's pretty much what we get here. It's like a version of Logan. I'm all for that story. Like, they hooked me on that story. It looks really good. The way they introduced her, and she's like, oh, you can help me, blah, blah, blah. And then you get to all these other characters that want to help him. Now, I think that they changed the appearance of the Romulans to flatten their foreheads so they don't really look like Next Generation Romulans. At least they didn't like totally destroy them like they did with the Klingons. But it seems like they're sort of flattening them out and make him look almost more Vulcan-like. They kind of look more like the Romulan ambassador from Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country. At least they didn't do the weird tattoo thing they did with Nero. Oh, don't get me started on Nero. So it looks like they had that one Archer dude who is with Picard, and he looks like an elf. Honestly, I think that's what they're going for. It's like, let's do Legolas, except he's Romulan, because, hey, they both have pointed ears, and let's have Legolas, Romulan version of Legolas, be Picard's, second-hand man. But I'm, again, on board with that. I can't wait to see it. It all looks really great to me. Now, we know from interviews and whatnot that this is going to take place after the Star Trek 2009, because that continuity part about Romulus blowing up involving Spock and Nero, that was actually from the prime timeline, which this is taken in. It's not confusing, guys. It's quite simple. Some people, it's just so easy to get. But anyway, prime timeline. So, which is the only timeline that exists in Star Trek, because Kelvin stuff isn't Star Trek, but digression. Anyway, so Picard has this, Romulus is destroyed. Now, I get the idea in this person. I didn't come up with this myself, I gotta be honest. I've watched other YouTube videos, read articles, and after watching a trailer, after having those things pointed out to me, I'm like, oh yeah, that is the case. And they were saying that it looks to me, or to them, but now that it's been pointing out to me, it looks to me that the Romulans are experimenting with Borg technology, and they're sort of making people like these crazy powerful people from this Borg ship that they found. Now, I thought it would be cool if the Borg ship was a reference to Neutral Zone, because the first season episode, they said there was this mysterious ship destroying Romulan and Federation outposts along the Neutral Zone. We never found out who they were. They were originally supposed to be Borg, but that storyline was kind of dropped, and they did something different with the Borg. It would be cool if that was a call out to that. Or, here's another thing, because I didn't notice this too, I had to have this pointed out to me. Hugh, third of 5, Hugh is going to be in the Picard show, and he was in the trailer very briefly, and I think they show him taking Borg shit off of them. So, maybe that's Hugh's ship. If you remember, Hugh, he was on a Borg ship that was disconnected from the Collective, so it had nothing to do with the Collective. So maybe somehow the Romulans got a hold of his ship, and that's how he's involved in this. And whatever the case is, it does look like the Romulans are experimenting with the Borg technology, because you see the Superwoman, whoever she is, originally was a prisoner. You see her as a prisoner on the Romulan prison camp, but if you look in the background of the Romulan prison camp, as was pointed out to me again, I didn't notice this myself, there's Borg outposts. So I'm pretty sure that this Romulan prison camp is the Borg ship. And so the exterior that we see of this broken Borg ship, I think, in the interior was the prison camp, and that's where they're doing experiments on this girl that made her powerful, or the destroyer who's going to end everything. Like, that's cool. I like that storyline. The trailer sells as well. So I think that's what the deal is, and that's why the Romulans are hunting back for her. But I think since Romulans are so splintered because their homeworld's destroyed, I think there's going to be lots of different splinter groups of Romulans, which if they do this, I would love, because I love complex, realistic political situations. And when Star Trek does it, they do it right. It's not just, here's an evil group and here's the good guys. Star Trek is best when they're a lot more complex, like the Xindi story arc, the Dominion War story arc. Let's have these complex. Some people will work with the Mars Resistance group, but they're not the best of guys. Like that complex, realistic integration political situation. I think that's what we're getting here with the Romulans, and I am so on board with that. Now, as far as the Borg go, I hope that the case is with the Romulans experimenting with the Borg technology. I hope that's it. I hope that's the extent of the Borg involvement, because I don't want to see the fucking Borg Queen. No! I do not want to see the Borg Queen, or the Voyager already ruined the Borg. Not even the Borg at all, but as far as their technology, and that's why 7 of 9, good to see her again. That's why she appears, is because it involves Borg technology, so she's the expert on that. And I love how they use her in this trailer, how she was like, oh, Picard, blah blah blah, and they showed that she's not all being all Borg, so I better, stiff, that her 20 years of living among us humans has changed her personality. Totally on board with that. So pretty sure that's why she's involved, and of course that would also, Hugh would be involved in that as well. It's kind of weird though, because Hugh and 7-9, actually, I talked about this in other videos, their existence contradicts each other, but I don't think the show's going to get into that at all. Maybe they'll try to fix it the whole way they tried to fix the continuity errors in Discovery Season 2. The Klingons cut their hair for the war. Hope not. Anyway. God damn it. What was I saying? Oh, Data. So we know that Riker's going to be in Picard's show. So is Counselor Troy. In fact, we had this one line of dialogue. I think it was Counselor Troy. It sounded like her voice, but then the next line they show the visual of this Romulan woman, so you think she was the one speaking it. But I get the impression that there was someone different, that was actually Troy speaking the first half, and it was a fake out that was a Romulan woman. Might be wrong, but I don't know. Don't like to super hyper analyze these trailers anyway. So she's going to be, and Data, of course, we see in the trailer where he's like, oh, I can see that, Captain, at the end. And of course, they mentioned at the start they showed this broken up body. I'm pretty sure that's before, because their Data has no body. He was obliterated. They acknowledged this at the start of the trailer. So I think that's before. I really hope that they turn before into Data, because this is something, a storyline that they hinted at the end of Nemesis, and they're always planning on doing it, but Nemesis bombed, so they didn't do any more Star Trek stuff. And it was done in the non-canon novels as well. So some people actually speculated that they might acknowledge what the non-canon novels did, but apparently not, as we've seen this trailer. So I hope that they do that now. Like the thing at the end where Data talks to Picard, a lot of people speculate. A lot of people speculate that that's a holodeck. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I would prefer if it's not, but even if it is, I want to fucking see Data come back to life because they left the thing in Nemesis, like Data put all of his memories and his consciousness and everything, downloaded all of his files into B4, so it's such an easy storyline. Now you reactivate them, and boom, B4 is now Data. But even if that's not the case, whatever. I just want to. I really want to see. But anyway, I know it's going to be the main focus. I know these cameos aren't going to be the main focus. I don't expect to see 709 very much. I don't expect to see Riker or Troy very much. They'll probably just have brief cameos. Because we see Picard has his ragtag group, the Rogue One group that goes off on their mission to whatever the hell they're doing. That looks great. I'm on board for that, especially like the Logan aspect of it with the woman who's like very powerful and dangerous, and Picard has to take care of her. Oh, she's in peril. Like, I'm 100% sold on that. This thing looks fucking awesome. Everything I hear about behind the scenes about how Patrick Stewart was heavily involved in this, Alex Kurtzman was pretty much not involved at all. So all these people were saying this show's going to suck because Alex Kurtzman, I think they have no leg to stand on, personally. Anyway, and they had like this classic science fiction writer. He was heavily involved, actually. I think he was the main showrunner, if I'm remembering correctly. But anyway, this looks awesome. Everything I hear about this says it looks awesome. It's going to be awesome. I don't mind at all that they're modernizing it. I think that's exactly what I want to see. I think this is going to stay true to the heart of who Picard is and to the heart of what Star Trek is. But this, I am like a billion times more excited for this than I've ever been for Discovery or anything else. So I'm really hoping this will be good, and I really think it will. But who knows? I could be eating my words come next January, February. Sucks we had to wait that long. At first they said it would be late 2019. Now they're saying early 2020. But that's fine because I get to watch The Expanse first. Don't have to watch them both at the same time. That would kind of annoy me. Anyway, that is it for my brief little trailer. Oh no, one more thing before I go. I want to talk about the Lower Decks. Not the Lower Decks, well, kind of the Lower Decks, but the short treks. I also got a trailer. I'm not going to get too much into that other than to say I'm nowhere near as excited for these short treks as I am the Picard show, but I'm much more excited for them than I was for last time, because last time they had short treks, I didn't even bother to watch them. Like, all these other YouTube channels were reviewing them, and I can't waste my time on this bullshit. I didn't watch them till like months later. Like a couple of them I didn't even watch till after I watched season 2 of Discovery. But these ones I am excited for, and I will watch before because they do look good. It's good seeing Pike and Spock again. The one with The one with Pike looks very interesting. The one with Spock I'm less interested in. Number one, like that will be a nice little diversion, but I'm not very excited for it. The one with the Tribbles looks amazing. I've heard some people whining about, it doesn't look like Star Trek. Get out. Go. I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but get out of here. It looks hilarious to me. It has the dude from Bob's Burger and freaking Archer. He's fucking hilarious, and I see just a few clips of him going, like, you did something terrible. Then you see Tribbles everywhere. I'm like, this is going to be awesome. Anyway, apparently a couple other short treks has to do with, the animated. They're animated, and then some speculation that it's setting up for Lower Decks, which is the animated series. Now, they showed some stills from Lower Decks at Comic-Con, and apparently they were saying that, and I saw some stills that looked interesting, but apparently they were saying that this show has some of the same creative team writers from Rick and Morty, so they're saying that this show is going to be just as intelligent, just as funny, just as witty as Rick and Morty, and I am 100% down for that. And they have a Star Trek version of Rick and Morty. Oh, fuck, man, that's going to be amazing. I'm all on board with that shit. Maybe it's not going to be the case. Maybe they're just fooling you in hyperbole or whatever. But at the moment, I'm swallowing this hook, line, and sinker. I'm totally on board until I see it and it sucks. Until then, I'm sure this is going to be great, and I'm really excited for it. Anyway, that's it. That now is it. This is all I gotta say about the new Picard trailer and whatnot. Check out my channel for many more Star Trek stuff. Watch my Expanse Season 4 review, and if you're not watching The Expanse, what's that? Go watch it, and then watch my Season 4 review, trailer review. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.